my channel. My name is Amy, and if you're new here, I do all things fitness, wellness, health, and today we are sharing an easy, simple baked chicken recipe that I use to meal prep. We've got some pasta, some baked chicken, paprika and garlic flavored, and then some bell peppers. So let's get started. All right guys, so I'm gonna go through what you need first. I'm adding garlic. This is optional, but you are gonna want chicken thighs. Now I just get my chicken thighs from Ralph's or Costco. I have about 3 pounds here, and I'm gonna put the measurements for everything you need below, but I like to eyeball it, but I will give you the measurements. And then you're going to need some paprika, salt, pepper, and oregano. If you want to add a little lemon pepper, you can, but we're not going to use it today. So, and some olive oil. All right, let's get started. We are going to place our chicken. And for those of you who are deciding whether you should wash your chicken or not, the answer is no. I've done the research, you don't wash your chicken. For all the Asian moms out there, they're gonna keep doing it regardless, so I got nothing to say about that. This is the fast and easy way to season your chicken. And this is the lazy way. All right, ooh, I almost tossed this piece. Yeesh. While we're prepping the chicken, we're gonna wanna preheat the oven. We're just gonna set it to 380 and we're gonna let it preheat. So now chicken is in the bowl. We're just gonna drizzle some olive oil across the chicken. And I told you this is a fast recipe, so don't expect anything to look pretty. We're gonna add some salt. I'll put exact measurements, but I've been doing this recipe for a while where I can just wing it. Another good tip is if you want to lay out your chicken, you can actually just make sure that the entire chicken fillet is covered in salt, and that's how you know that it's seasoned right. Just got this new pepper grinder from Amazon on Prime Day. I'll link it. But all you do is flip it over and it grinds it for you, which is awesome. Paprika. We're not going to do the heavy side because Lord knows. And then we're gonna add oregano. And we're gonna add around, I would say, 2 to 3 teaspoons. I have little gloves that I use. You don't have to use gloves, I just prefer it. So with the clean glove, I'm gonna add a little more olive oil and some more seasoning, just because she's not fully covered. It's a dangerous game when you use this side, let me tell you. A little more salt and pepper as well. And oregano. Again, my goal is to get the fillets covered up as much as possible in terms of the surface area. So for my garlic, I buy it pre-peeled because I'm just that lazy gal, but they have it at Trader Joe's, super cheap. It's like $3. Highly recommend. I give our garlic a light mince, and then we're gonna use my grandma's technique and we're just gonna start chopping like this. And you don't need to get it too tiny, but when you chop it up, that's when all of the benefits essentially come out of the garlic. We got our foil, and I decided to oil it up. You can either use spray oil. Another hack is if you don't have a brush to put oil on your pans, you can just put some on, use your chicken and spread it. Or you can use a wet paper towel and just wipe the oil just to spread it. This is just gonna prevent your chicken from sticking. And then we are going to spread out our chicken thighs evenly. Making sure. I know a lot of people like to pound their chicken. I don't really care for that. It doesn't matter that much for me. And we're just gonna wanna give it some space in between each one. This will do, honestly. This will really good for the week. Remember when I said give it space? Now, the reason why I use the bowl instead of seasoning it directly is because it's just a little more spread out. But after it's laid out, you can feel free to add seasoning if you see that, say, there's not enough oregano on the top and you want a bit of a crust, you can just add some on top. I preheated the oven originally to 380, but we're gonna move it up and I bumped it to 425 just because there's so much chicken and it's a larger oven. Oh, let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and stick it on the top rack. We don't want the oven on for too long, and we're just gonna set a timer for about 30 minutes, but we're gonna check on it. Once the chicken's at 165 degrees Fahrenheit internally, then it's cooked all the way. While the chicken is cooking for the next 25 minutes, we are going to prep and wash some cilantro just as a topper. Totally optional. If you're just prepping for the sake of eating protein, don't worry about it. I just like a little bit of greenery. And then we're also gonna make some veggies as well. If you want me to make a video on how to prep your vegetables in advance, let me know. In terms of washing, cutting, fridge storage. I think it feels like general knowledge, but it's been really helpful to me to just go through and learn. So I'm lazy. I like to cut the ends off my cilantro. Wash and rinse it first, and then we're gonna dice it. Dice it? Dice it? Is dice it the word?
Chop.
We're gonna chop it up into little pieces. And I like to just wash my veggies in water. Recently, I've also been adding a dash of baking soda just to kill any germs and bacteria. Totally optional. But I'll just let it soak for a few minutes, and then I'll give it 1 to 2 more rinses. Next, we're gonna get our veggies out the fridge. For my veggies this week, I prepped some mushrooms. These are so cute. They're asparagus in a little rocket ship so that I can keep a little bit of water at the bottom so that they keep growing and staying fresh. Bell peppers. And again, if you want me to go through how to store them, how to prep them, what I like to do, just let me know and I will share it in a separate video. We're gonna get a pan. I'm using the Our Place Always pan. And we're gonna go over here. Vegetables don't need to be complicated. Like I said, if it's already prepped, all you gotta do, heat up a pan, and you can even air fry your vegetables. It's something I used to do a lot, but heating it up in a pan is so easy. If your stuff is sticking to a pan, then chances are it's just not hot enough. Another way to double check is once you have the fire on, you can throw some water and you can see the water is still there. You wanna wait until it's fully evaporated, and that means the pan is hot enough. And that's when you're gonna add your oil and then your vegetables. Another reason for everything sticking on your pan is if it's just not oiled enough, unfortunately, but I like to use, you can use either olive oil, avocado oil. I preferably use olive oil or avocado oil. Spread her out, nice and easy. You think I could fit this much bell peppers in one pan? So we'll do, and then I'll give her a little mix up just to make sure the oil is spread out. All you're gonna do with your vegetables, super simple, you don't need to overdo it, is add some salt, add some pepper. I love this thing. I just like to toss it a little bit. And then you just let it cook. While she's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and rinse my cilantro. The bell peppers are starting to cook pretty well. They're starting to brown. You can cook them as soft as you want them. I don't want them super crunchy, so I like to cook them a little longer. Once that's done, we're gonna go ahead and remove her. Other hack is, if you're waiting for other food to cook, you can leave your food and then just reheat it on a low heat after. For veggies, that's fine. For meat, you wanna take it off the pan as soon as you're done cooking. That way it doesn't continue cooking in the pan. Vegetables is okay. Real quick, we're just gonna throw our cilantro into my Our Place salad spinner. If you don't have a salad spinner, this is just a hack. But if you don't have one, you can totally use just like a paper towel to dry them off. So I'll throw them all in the basket. And she's dried. Bunch her up, nice and tight, nice and right. And you're just gonna slowly slice. And when you chop, you wanna kind of go in this curved fashion, not just like up and down, because you wanna use the entire blade of the knife. So you're just gonna go like this. And if you wanna keep her fresh, I like to just put a small paper towel inside to prevent any extra or excess moisture from getting in the bag. Make sure you keep her nice and right. All right, that's good. Pull out the side with the smaller fillets, and they're looking pretty cooked already. And you're gonna want your chicken to be at 165 degrees Fahrenheit. These are super cheap, so these are already good to go. Yeah, 169. Veggies, $1.79. All right, we're pulling out the rest of them. Oh, she's juicy. All right, they're all cooked. We're gonna let them rest for about, we're gonna take them off and then let them rest for about 5 minutes. We're not gonna take the extra chicken juices this time. Oh! Things happen. We're also gonna pull our veggies off at this point. Set her to the side. It's totally up to you if you want to slice it up and have it wrap up. Cool. All right, so we've got some leftover pasta, and we're just gonna scoop an entire bunch and place her on here. You could use your fork or knife. You don't have to do what I'm doing, but that's just how I like to do it. Just top her off. Don't gotta be too fancy with it, but this is essentially a meal prep that you can have throughout the week. You've got your carbs, your protein, your veggies. With a little bit of cilantro. Cheers. Alright guys, that is it for this episode. If you have any questions, if you want to see any more recipes in the future, please comment below and I'll catch y'all in my next episode.